Hey ladies, thanks again for tuning in to Sister for Sisters. Today's episode is going to be talking about teenage pregnancy and the things that parents have to deal with on a regular basis. So we're just going to be touching on different subject matters that has to do with teenage pregnancy, when it comes to the mother, the father, the grandparents, the, household, community, and the things that we all have to go through due to the choices that have been made. All right, so we just going to jump right in. So pretty much when you're a child, you don't really have any cares in the world. You don't really have to think about things. Nobody puts that pressure on you to really have to think other than being in school. That's the only really time you have to open up and be somewhat free-minded, I would say. But you're not trying to understand, or you might be trying to understand the struggles of your parents, sometimes, but other times you really just don't even know the struggles that parents are going through, but you're just trying to live your life as a child. You don't know what to do or how to go about living life, so you learn from those who have came before you. And so if all that you really know is, mom and dad, or mom or dad, all you know is that they're supposed to provide for you. If the Lord allows you to be able to come in contact with a person or people who want to genuinely love you, people that want to be around you and help you, support you, and build you up to be the thing that, will help you and grow you to become the parent, the mother, the father, that you need to be. You need to embrace it. Like we have to stop looking at the world overall, because in general, there's so much evil going on in the world that it will, like the Lord said, you will be encamped. Like they're just all around you. So it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. No, you can never give them that power. You have to stand up for what you believe in. And when it comes to things like teenage pregnancy, it's really just kind of swept under the rug, and no one really talks about it. It just happens. And that's that. But let's get into what really is going on when these things happen. So you have a teenage girl who gets pregnant by a teenage boy, or he may be a little bit older, or what have you. So now this girl, she has to come home and let her parents know that she's pregnant, and she's scared because of the way that she grew up. Nothing is really told to her. It's just like, don't do this, or this is gonna happen. Don't do that. It's not really put into detail on what it is that you should be doing instead of what you shouldn't be doing. So how is it that you are supposed to go about finding a mate? How is it that you're supposed to date or court? How is it that you are supposed to be approached by a male? Just little things like that our girls don't know, that is hurting them. And it's still hurting adult women to this day. And until we fix it, we're going to continue to see this problem growing. And it's just so many different evil things that's going on in homes that we don't want to talk about. And I'm sick of watching it. I'm sick of seeing women being abused, and people are laughing at it, thinking it's a joke just because it's on social media. Like, people are crying out for help. Nobody is trying to help people. Everybody thinks everything is a joke and a game and a gimmick. Everybody wants YouTube, Facebook likes, Instagram likes. Okay, who cares? What are those likes going to do for you in the end? Nothing. It's all vanity. So with that being said, sorry I'm a little anxious, but I'm just really fed up with evil people. So like I said, in my case, I didn't want the curse, the generational curses to continue. So what I did, although I was still going through my trials and tribulation, I tried to give the right words to my daughter. I gave her the words, but yet I did not give her the example that she needed. So all of these words that I'm saying to her, yes, of course, they're factual, they're true, but you're not living them. And this works the same way with the Bible. You can't read the Bible, talk about the Bible, and not be living it. You have to live what you preach. You practice what you preach means to live it. So I'm just saying, you can't just talk to your children. You can't talk at your children. You have to teach them. You have to show them. My mama always said, somebody tell you love me. No, you don't love me. Show me. If you love me, show me. That's just point blank period. If a person does not show you they do not love you, they do not love you. And you just have to come to that understanding. So, just to talk about some of the different things, the hurdles and the struggles that you may come into as a teenager, especially if you're still in high school, or there's even teenagers that are still in grammar school that are having babies. These are the girls that really, really need that support. These girls are out here looking to be loved. They're looking to be loved. They have the need to feel loved. And even though that man that they are having this baby with is probably not loving them the way that they want to be loved, and now they have this baby who they feel can feel that void. But usually that's not the case. So now you have a single mother, or a mother with a man who she barely knows. You just had a kid, and now you're trying to create this whole life, and you don't even know anything about life. So how can you even begin to start to create a life for this child? And you don't even have anything to base it on. So this man is making promises and telling you that he's gonna do this, and this. So you're listening, and of course you want to be a family. This is the goal of every human. You want to have a family, you want to have children, and you just want your lineage to grow. And it's just so much that people don't realize that, we do realize it, but we just dismiss it. So I just want, all the mothers, all the fathers, sisters, everybody, if you can lend a hand to a mother, a single mother, or even just a mother in need, she's in need, lend your hand. Teach them, give them your stories, give them your examples so they don't make the same mistakes. If you're in something right now that you need to get out of in order to show your child, that it doesn't have to be this way. This is not the way that God created it. This is not what God wants for you. If you are in something that is just totally wrong and you know it, you need to get out. Don't let a baby be the reason that you stay with the evil person. There's too many women and teenage girls out here being murdered by people because they are looking to just control people, and you can't give people that power over you. This is why you have to, as women, we have to educate ourselves. We have to read for ourselves. We have to know the laws, that we have that pertain to us. You can't just let people walk all over you. Stop being so trusting. There's too many evil people in the world to be so trusting. When you're a giver, you naturally attract people. You're going to attract all kinds of people. You're going to attract the loving person. You're going to attract the hater. You're going to attract the manipulator. You're going to attract the sociopath. You're going to get all types of people coming to you that want to be around you just to see, people that want to either help build your life or people that want to take your life from you. So now, you got a baby. Now you have to think about your future. And what are you going to do with your future at this point? Who's going to help you build this future? If have you sat down and wrote down all the pros and cons of what it's, if staying with this person that you're having this baby with is going to be better for their future or not, whether you're going to have to put a person on child support, whether you're going to have to go to court and fight for custody because that a person is just flat out wrong, and that if your child goes with that person, that they will end up in a bad place at the end. So these are all things that you have to take into consideration. And, for girls that don't really have anybody, you have all these thoughts that you have to think after you've gotten pregnant. So whether you're keeping the baby, you have a man forcing you to get an abortion, telling you to take the morning after pill, or you're just one of those girls that just really don't care, it's all of that is not good. You can't just be out here giving your body away and just dismissing seed. That's a really big thing. That's a really big bond. That is, sex is something that should be sacred. It should be something that should be very, very intimate between someone that you really love. It's a very empty feeling when you're giving your body to someone who doesn't really care for you, even though you may have somebody who's telling you that I love you and I care for you, but in their actions they're showing something totally different. So you just want to be careful, and when you do find that place in your mind where you know that this is not the right thing for me, you have to come to the conclusion and make the best decision on how to move about. You have to understand that there will be people that will play mind games with you, and this can go for the man or the woman. You cannot manipulate a man into a relationship with a baby. So don't think that. You could never do that. And a man will try to do the same thing to keep a woman. He will tell her to have my baby so that we can love each other more, or just goofy excuse that a person can come up with. If I'm staying in my parents' house, you're staying in your parents' house, and you can't even provide for me, can you provide me a car? Can you provide me a house? Can you provide me food? And can you sustain me and this child that you want me to have? So a person has to be mentally sick to even want to do that, knowing that they don't have the ability to take care of what's about to come. So another thing that you might have to deal with is, whether or not you're going to move out of your parents' house, if you're going to stay with your parents. What if your parents are abusive? What if you're dealing with all kinds of things? You really just have to understand the types of decisions that are going to have to be made in being a teenage mother. Like me, I did end up finishing school, at least high school. My mom ended up putting me in an alternative school for pregnant girls. It was called Tesla. And now I could really appreciate my mom for doing that, because it put me in an environment with people who, were just like me basically. So I didn't have anything to be ashamed about. So it wasn't like, you don't have any reason to not go to school and, be around other people that'll be looking at you all crazy or things like that. And, if you have a daughter who's underage and pregnant, if that's the case, she's having trouble in school, maybe you can take her out and homeschool her, or whatever the case may be. You have to do things that are best for you and your family. And the support system is the main thing when we're talking about having, unwed children or just teenage pregnancy. We have to come together. We have to bond together. We have to create those villages in order to make these girls feel like they are loved. We have to give them the love that they are looking for. If we give them everything, if we equip them with the love, they won't go out here looking for it. You know, what direction we always, you know, just because you come from a pretty good background, you know, no one really wants to get into the mind of the child. No one really wants to talk to the child. Children are usually dismissed when it comes to relationships. They're really dismissed. No one really cares about what they have to say. And this is the reason why the direction gets thrown off, and you know, you're telling your child one thing but you're doing another. So what is the direction? What is the guidance that's being given for these children, these girls and these boys? And another thing is putting your child off on their abuser. So, you know, teenagers, they get abused just like adults. You know, these are traits that are carried from parents and taught to the children indirectly. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. So you have this couple, now they're pregnant, you know, they're both teenagers. You know, this boy, he comes from a background of abuse, whether it's physical abuse towards his mother, or verbal abuse towards the father or towards the mother, just any type of, you know, relationship that, you know, or they may have been in a single parent family. The mother chose to date and the dating wasn't controlled, so you know, the kids get to see these different men coming in and out of mom's life, so the child doesn't even understand what it is to be in a relationship. You see everybody else doing it, so it's like, this must be life, this must be how relationships go, this must be the way. No. We have to learn. Once we know better, we must strive our hardest to do better. It's never too late. It's never too late. Take your crown back. Get your crown, put it back on, and keep it on. If you know that a man is not good for you, if you know that boy is no good for you, you take a break from him. You let him know that, okay, you can take care of your child, but this is what I won't allow. This is what I won't allow. You have to be strong. When you are bringing children into this world, you have to be strong, because ain't nobody gonna take care of your babies like you. Like a woman would. I mean, there are great fathers, but we all know on a large scale that the mother is the nurturer, the mother is the teacher, you know, the head, the man is the head, and he gives what he gives, but we know the role that the mother plays in the child's life in rearing them up, showing them the way to go, showing them, you know, what to do and how to do it. On both ends, we have the boys and the girls to teach. When we're left as single mothers, we have to teach the boys and the girls. So these are just things, you know, when you have these different sexes in your house, you have to teach both them, you know, in ways that they can relate to. If you don't have any male figures around your boys, get some. Find some, you know, productive men in the, you know, the careers that they may be wanting to go into later on in life. Show them that there's a better way. You know, take them into different environments and show them that this is not the way that it has to be. You have to move forward. Just because something bad happened in your past or a mistake happened, you know, things happened untimely, does not mean that your life has ended. So, like I said, take back your crown. Don't let anyone steal your joy just because of a mistake that you have made. You know, at the end of the day, God is the only one that can judge you. I mean, we can be judged, but once you know that I did wrong, okay, what am I going to do now to put myself in a better position? So, you have to put your standards, pick up your standards. Pick your standards up off of the floor. You are not a slave. Do what it is that you need to do for you and your child, regardless of the fact if the other parent doesn't want to do what they're supposed to do. Do what it is that you need to do for your children. Do not let anyone dictate what's best for your children when you know what it is that's best for you and your children. Period. You know that people always do have, good intentions. People say things, and, people just, you can't just go off feelings. You know what I'm saying? When you know for a fact that this is what needs to be done for my child, you need to take action and do it. Because at the end of the day, who's going to be hurting? You and your child, not the other people that's in it. So, pick your standards up off the ground. Like I said, hold accountability for your actions and the actions of others. You let people know when they are wrong. You do not let people just do what they want to do to you. Do not give people that power over you. So own up to your own mistakes, and you just make sure you point out others, when it's time. Everything in its right time. Don't just go out bashing people. But, if a person, there's a whole lot of narcissistic people out here, and that's both men and women. So, like I keep saying, you have to be careful of the company that you keep. You don't want friends around you that aren't going to tell you what it is you need to do. If you're in an abusive relationship, your friends should be telling you to get out. Your friends should be telling you to run. Your friends should be telling you, no, don't be there. Don't stay with him. Don't, give this man any leeway if he's abusing you. You have to demand your respect. You have to demand respect, because nobody's going to respect a person that doesn't respect themselves. This is law. We all know this. So it's just a lot, when the different types of influences that you have around you, whether it's just fake people, sex, a lot of people have dark secrets in their families, where there's a lot of molestation and things like this going on that leads to, depression and stuff, and will put the child right out there to run into the arms of an abuser and just start the cycle all over again. So, well, that was that. Really didn't want it to be long, but I just wanted to, extend some encouragement for those young ladies or young men and grandparents, parents alike, to just encourage you to be strong and to continue to build up and lift up your family members. Continue to strive to have that support system. The world right now is so flaky, and if you don't have a support system, you just might end up under a rock. So, like I said, I'm a very shy person. I'm speaking now because I'm tired of holding my tongue. But it was very hard for me to come out of my shell. Like, I always knew that I had my own mind. Like, even dealing with things, as a teenage mother, I was breastfeeding. No one in my family was breastfeeding. I was just reading. So I was obtaining the knowledge that I needed to in order to have for this baby to come into the world. So I'm like, let me find the, easiest way, or the way to make this as easy as possible on me. So, just little things like that you have to make up in your own mind. This is what I'm going to do. This is what's best for my baby. So you just have to be really strong. And the support system, like I said, is the biggest thing right now. I'm really, just starting to really make friends. Like, I've had friends, and I don't really talk to anyone at this point because of the bad relationships that I've had with men. And when you get into those types of relationships, the men will, they will seclude you, and they don't want you to talk to anyone. And after you've had this baby, you know what I'm saying, you're in this mindset where I just want to take care of my baby. Like, let me just take care of my baby. He's acting crazy, but I'm just taking care of my baby. Who cares about friends? Who cares about happiness? My baby makes me happy, so I'm just gonna do this. But no, you need friends. We're social people. God wants us to be social. He wants us to gather. He wants us to congregate. He wants you to congregate with like-minded people. You cannot sit around evil people and expect to get love. You just can't. That's counterproductive. So if you want love and you're seeking love, seek out the right people. Just because you feel like you need love, that does not mean that you need to be in a relationship. Find some female friends or some male friends that you can genuinely talk to, be free with, you don't have to hold your tongue with. And these are people that are, going to give you judgment that is needed. They're not going to tell you to go do stupid things, and they're going to tell you the right things, the things that God loves. So if you, like I said, if you're going through this, just be encouraged, have faith, and know that if you are walking with God, that things are gonna work out in the end. So with that being said, thanks again for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Love you all to pieces. Peace.